Wow, was that 28 years later? A sequel to Anaconda, am I right? 28 Years Later is a movie that I've been so excited about for the longest time now. But the days leading up to its release, I did find it very weird that they set an embargo act on it, on top of the fact that they didn't really let anybody see it like early. But then the early critics started to roll in and I started to see a lot of mixed reviews. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, what? Alex Garland and Danny Boyle are attached to this project. What is going on? So I finally decided to go watch this with some of my friends, and what did I think of the movie overall? Did I like it? Did I not? Well, let's get into my thoughts. I think what's going to help your viewing experience overall, ladies and gentlemen, is the expectations you set yourself with before you go and watch this movie. Because if you're like me, and I'm sure you are, where you've seen Boyle and Garland attach themselves to another 28 movie, and then you've seen that trailer that came out 6 months ago that just blew up in popularity, you probably thought this was just going to be an all-out, dark, gritty, and gruesome bloodfest. But unfortunately, if you go in expecting that, or expecting something similar to 28 Days Later with the vibe and the tone of that, then I'm afraid you're probably going to be left a little bit disappointed when you come out of this one, so let me help you out a little bit. Non-spoilers, of course. So with this franchise, as well as similar ones like The Walking Dead, you have your main premise of protect yourself from infected and or zombies. Pretty simplistic and easy to follow, right? But as the story furthers along, you get into the later seasons of The Walking Dead, or 28 Years Later passes. The premise then becomes a lot bigger than just, defending yourself against the infected and or zombies. How are people surviving? Are people defending themselves against things like martial law, not having a government, police, or anything like that, having to just rely on each other? How has the infected evolved? This is what 28 Years Later wants to show you, rather than just having a 2-hour-long movie of just dark, gritty, gore, infected, tearing people from limb to limb the entire time. And I think that's why some people are a little bit angry. But all in all, that's what I really liked about this movie. I liked the explanation of what this world would look like in this franchise 28 years later. The good, the bad, the sad, the funny. Not just the same regurgitated bullshit thrown down our throats like a lot of you guys wanted for whatever reason. Now, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, you still get a lot of gore, a lot of suspense, a lot of scary shit happening a lot of the time, like you'd expect from a movie like this. But on the same token, Danny Boyle also wants to explore the human side of this franchise, the drama that comes with it, the emotional ties, the family dynamics, different characters, the townspeople. He doesn't want the main focus to just be about the infected. And speaking on the infected, my favorite part of this movie, by the way, is how they've evolved and how they've implemented these leader type of characters called alphas. I was thinking to myself, what makes them so special? Why do they become alphas, and how did they become an alpha, and why do they get the title of being an alpha? And then I found out why. Now, yes, with the movie so divided like this, there were some things that I did find questionable, especially within the second half, because that's when everything gets very bold. Our characters make some very interesting decisions, and our director takes us into some very